Hello, everybody. It's the 25th of March, and this is a series of 10 videos. I'm doing the audio portion from my computer room, and you can tell from the background. I am in competition with my neighbor who is mowing his yard. It's that time of the year again. 25 March 2020. I have two GPS units, and I'm going to explain to you the problems that I'm having. I'm going to let this video run exactly the way I did it. There will be times when I'm just sitting trying to make my GPS systems work. I have a GPS system built into this automobile, but it hasn't been updated since 2014, and for some reason the lady has decided to tell you to turn after you pass the turn. So I'll be doubling back in certain areas on this video. My other GPS unit, and for whatever the reason, it is different from the ones that I've had in before, even though the ones I had before had some things about those that I didn't like, so that's why I have this one. But I'm running my GoPro from the cigarette lighter, and when I plug a USB into the GPS unit, it will run, but you can't adjust the sound or the screen. And on a bright day, it was impossible to see the GPS unit. Plus, I couldn't get the lady to speak to me on that GPS unit. So, Pat and I, she's a co-pilot, and she was trying to get the GPS systems working. And then I tried to get them working. So, we had a conflict of interest. I told Pat, I said, if we can go on one of these road trips and have two GPS units running haywire and not get into a fuss, that's saying something. And believe it or not, we didn't even get aggravated at each other. I guess that's the way it goes when you've been married as long as we have. So anyway, I'm going to let this thing run, and it's going to be a convoluted 10 videos. At the first part of this video, you're going to see some of the same area that you've seen before on my videos, but before long we'll be on some roads that I have not had a video of. So if you've never been on those roads, you're going to see some new territory when we get on the other side of Oak Ridge. But until we do that, you're going to see some of the same area that you've seen before. But it's a beautiful day. You can tell blue sky, fluffy clouds. You would not think that on March 25th, 2020, we were having such a terrible time in the world. But we are. But I wanted to get out today and do a video, and we're getting ready to stop and try to fix the GPS system. the camera's on the outside of the car. If it was on the inside of the car, I'd let you listen to some of the conversation between us. We were trying to get the thing to work the way we wanted it to work. I told Pat, what I'm going to do is find someone that can run an electrical connection from my car to the outside, and I think I'm going to place a permanent GPS housing out in the front of the car and run the power rather than to try to run it from my cigarette lighter. And then that way I can use my other GPS unit, which has a special connector that goes into the cigarette lighter. And if you don't use that special connector with this UPS unit, you can't see it. It's so dim, and it gives you a message telling you that you're using the wrong connector. So if you want to see all the functionality of that GPS unit, you need to use the connector that came with the GPS. So if I can set up a connector to where I can mount a GoPro housing on the outside of the car, then that'll solve my problems. Unless I can figure out how to update this GPS unit in my automobile. Where I have it serviced, my service manual says that the service department can update it, but the last time I was there, I might as well tell you, I'm driving a smart car. It's a 2015 model, and it was manufactured by Mercedes. And for whatever the reason, excuse me, I'm going to have to turn my cough mic off. No, I do not have symptoms, and I do not have a sore throat. And we've been hibernating for quite a while. I figured that eventually, see, you were going to pull over again to try to fix the GPS unit. I figured that before long, when the manufacturer of mask, especially those industrial masks, gets geared up, you'll be able to go to the store and buy them. So eventually, when they're available, I'll buy some for us. There goes a dump truck. You'll see, if you haven't been down here between Kerrville and Rocky Top, aka Lake City, or Lake City, aka Rocky Top, they're working. They have some traffic lights timed on a 3-minute interval until they can route the traffic up here without a flagman. I'm surprised at the amount of work that they've done on that bank. I had no earthly idea that it was about to erode into a landslide, but they've been working on it for quite a while. As we sit here trying to figure out how to fix these GPS units. And like I told you, I'm just going to let this thing run the way it was. It took 10 videos of just meandering down the road. We went through Oak Ridge, out Pellissippi, and then there's a road that we turn right off of Pellissippi. I used to ride my bicycle up that road when I worked in Oak Ridge, and I should have checked the name of the road before I started doing the audio. Maybe we can see it when it comes up. I don't believe that it will come up on this first video, and this video will be one of 10. I've got a music track running underneath my voice because I cannot imagine talking for 10 videos, doing a road video. So what I'll do occasionally, I don't like to use music tracks because I've heard from people that do a lot of these road videos that it's not really good to use a total video track because the music that you use may be more, let me see how I can put this, it may be harder to listen to than my voice, although you can always turn the sound down. But there's times when I will pull the music up in the background when I'm not speaking. And there's a special way you do that. I probably need a de-esser on my microphone because you hear it psst, psst. There is a unit that you can get that's called a de-esser that gets rid of that. But anyway, when I pull my audio, my video, and my music track up into the editor, on the track where the music is at, the editor that I have, wherever you set it, that's where it stays. So what I do is I pull in the same music track together. In other words, I have the same music track on two separate tracks, and they're identical. And then that way, if I need a volume increase, I can go to one channel, mute the other channel, and that's the way you do that. You have one channel operating at a time, and while one channel is operating at a higher volume, you mute the lower volume channel, and then vice versa. So anyway, that's a little piece of that information. As we travel down 25W, there is another number for this highway, but I've always known it as 25W, so that's what I'm going to call it. You can say, for the folks who are not from this area, to the right is Interstate 75 going south. We're going south. And we're going to just meander on some of the back roads. When we do these videos, we set the GPS unit. You'll see a sign there that says no more than a 3-minute wait. We always set our GPS unit to eliminate the highways, and it'll take you down a back road. But when we started using the GPS unit in the smart car, it's so outdated. The lady, her voice is not in sync with the GPS. So she'll say, turn right here, and you'll be right where you need to turn. And so it was kind of frustrating, but when you're out doing a video like this, it's not really that important because we were not on a time schedule. We had no specific place that we wanted to go. We just wanted to get out of the house on the 25th of March, 2020, and do a road video, which turned into 10 videos. We didn't want to stop anywhere because of the conditions in March of 2020. So Pat packed us a lunch, and on the other side of Knoxville, I don't know the video number that will occur, we pulled into parking lot of a church down there and sat there and had a picnic inside the car. And when we do that, I'm just going to leave the camera running, and you can sit there with us and watch the traffic. If you don't want to do that, you can move ahead in the video, but I'm just keeping it real. And these road videos are kind of like, a long time ago I did a video and I said this, and it's really true. I don't know if you remember the telethons. You would just sit there for hours and watch absolutely nothing taking place other than an entertainer occasionally. And I consider these road videos like a telethon. You just sit and watch them, and they kind of mesmerize you, and you usually just sit there and watch the whole thing because you don't want to miss anything. Now, that doesn't mean that these videos like this are the most popular thing you can do on YouTube, but it's something to do for YouTube. People all over the world do these videos. I like them, and I'll go to countries where Google has, or YouTube has videos of a certain area, and I'll go in there and search a little town in a foreign country, and if it pops up, I go to YouTube, well, I go to Google Maps and find a city, and then I put it in the YouTube search function, and more than likely somebody has either walked around or driven their automobile or placed it on a bicycle. This one is getting ready to end.